Destiny's Child may not be a household name just yet, but displays like this one are popping up around the country. We caught up with the girls during a rare stop on their tour. Latavia, Beyonce, Kelly, and LaToya, all friends since elementary school, and now the stars of Destiny's Child.
Is this your mama's Latavia? She flew us up to Columbia Records, and we did a showcase for everybody at Columbia, and we got signed 2.5 weeks later.
And #1 on the Billboard chart.
Since then, it's been a world of...
They were marketed as empowered, unstoppable, untouchable. But behind the carefully created image of sisterhood and strength, Destiny's Child was built on something much darker. A system where young girls were molded, controlled and discarded, all in the name of success.
Kelly, Latavia, LaToya, and Beyonce.
They were never just a group. They were a product, and in the eyes of the industry, every part was replaceable. Hollywood is not just about glamour. It's a world of mystery, and on tragic icons, we unravel it all. Destiny's Child started as a dream between childhood friends Beyonce Knowles, Kelly Rowland, Latavia Robertson, and LaToya Luckett. 4 teenage girls from Houston, Texas, rehearsed endlessly, chasing stardom under the strict management of Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles. But even in their early days, it was not just about talent, it was about obedience. Matthew Knowles was not just their manager, he controlled everything, the contracts, the image, and everything else. The girls had to perform perfectly, always smile, and never question decisions. They were teenagers, but already trapped inside a machine. And this machine, Beyonce's father controlled everything. And for those who did not comply, there was no space for them in the spotlight. And Matthew Knowles would remove anyone who would stand in his daughter's way. By the year 2000, Destiny's Child was topping charts around the world, but fame did not protect anyone. Latavia and LaToya, 2 of the original members, began raising concerns. They were exhausted, they felt unheard, they wanted to renegotiate the group's management, not to walk away, but to gain some autonomy. Instead of being heard, they were silently replaced without warning, and that move was the industry at its coldest. Latavia and LaToya started getting frustrated with how everything was managed by Matthew Knowles. They were frustrated that Beyonce was always the one who was leading the songs. They felt like other girls were not given a chance. They felt that all the spotlight was on Beyonce. And if you notice in Destiny's Child and their music, Beyonce was obviously the lead singer, and it's not that other girls were not great singers, it's just that Matthew Knowles wanted his daughter to outperform everyone else. He made sure that no matter what happened, Beyonce always looked the best. And now I understand why they started raising concerns. The girls started becoming frustrated, and in this scenario, I am not surprised because everything was indeed about Beyonce, and these girls actually felt like they were extras or pawns in just someone else's story. And I'm not trying to bash Beyonce. This video is not about her, but this is the trauma and the tragic side of the girl group Destiny's Child. Matthew Knowles was actually not fair to these other girls. He made sure that no one outperformed his daughter, and whoever did, whoever tried to raise concerns, he would remove them. And not only were these girls removed from the group, they started becoming quiet in the industry. and it's like they disappeared. Yes, one of the girls did decide to have a solo career, but it just wasn't successful, and that's very tragic in my opinion with how everything was. This story is just dark, it's just twisted, because no matter how much they did, no matter how much effort they did, it was just not enough, because this man, Matthew Knowles, would make sure that his daughter would remain on the top. He would make sure, he would fight, and it did happen. Obviously it did happen, because Beyonce, out of all the girls, even in her solo career, she became extremely successful, and that was just very beautiful in terms of her achieving the success that she wanted. But it wasn't beautiful in the situation of these girls, because they were just thrown out. They were just there as these extras, these pawns, to actually help push someone's career further. And for the fact that they were sidelined is what's very hurtful about this situation. After the girls were removed from the girl group, 2 new members were introduced in the group, and that was Michelle Williams, Farah Franklin. And this story is also just another roller coaster, but in this scenario, it's Farah Franklin. She was only in the group for 5 months. Her story is often treated like a footnote. Not a lot of people talk about her because she really never lasted in the group. But this time, it's a reflection of what happens when someone does not fit in the control structure. She later revealed she was forced to work while ill, she was denied rest, and made to feel disposable. When she tried to speak up, she was pushed out, branded as unprofessional. She was written out of the group's history. Years later, Farah struggled with homelessness, and she was constantly arrested, and she became a forgotten casualty of a machine that had no use for her once she broke the image. How tragic is that? These girls, what Farah Franklin, Lativia, and Latoya had in common is that after they left the girl group Destiny's Child, their life outside of it just spiraled out of control. Everything was crumbling. It's like they were made to not exist after the system that they were forced to be in, and this is just very sad. I don't know what you guys think. Please let me know in the comments section about what you guys think about this scenario. And also, just so that we are clear, I am not bashing Beyonce. I am just bashing the system that was created into this world where these girls were taken advantage of because this man decided to sideline them and push forward his daughter's career and just let these other girls suffer. That's just very painful about this story. After Farah Franklin was removed from the group, 2 members remained, and they remained forever, and that was Kelly Rowland and Michelle Williams. Michelle Williams was very obedient, but later on she actually revealed in an interview that she had mental health issues. She felt alone, she felt mocked, and she felt laughed at. And that was very true, because Michelle Williams in the group, people always said that she seemed lost. People always had nasty remarks towards her. They always felt like she was the odd girl amongst the group, and it's very understandable for Michelle to actually have mental health issues, because with such mockery from the public, you start thinking and believing that something is wrong with you. But one thing that really was just very frightening and sad is how obedient she was, and that was it for Michelle. She lasted until the end of the group. The other person, the second best of Destiny's Child, was Kelly Rowland. She also said later in an interview that she felt jealous towards Beyonce because she felt that she was always second best. She didn't feel good enough. And with these girls, one thing they have in common is that they all felt a certain way. It's just that some were obedient until the end and some were not. And this is the lesson of how when you are obedient, when you don't speak up, and when you do speak up, there is always a consequence. And this is the result of these little girls that were taken advantage of by Matthew Knowles in a system that only favored him and his daughter. Destiny's Child was branded as female empowerment, but what happens when the image of strength is built on the silencing of real pain? They were sold as sisters, but behind the scenes, contracts, managers, and media narratives dictated everything. What we saw was a performance. What we missed was the price paid for it. Please let me know what you guys think in the comment section about this whole story. My name is Unina, and thank you for watching Tragic Icons. Please like this video, do share, and do subscribe. And when you do subscribe, please hit notification bell. There's going to be more mysteries that we need to unravel together. Thank you so much for watching this video.